and gentlemen of the world, I am presenting Mr. Brian Serge Mason, who by his vision and initiative who brought the best discovery since electricity, water rotor technologies power from slow-moving water. A new era in renewable energy and technical flagship of the Marine Foundation, and in association with the first Development World Bank to be the most extraordinary platform of development on Earth.
Water Rotor Energy Technologies. Low-cost power from slow-moving water. The demand for energy has never been greater. All over the world, people struggle to survive without electricity. Over 1 billion people across the globe have no access to electricity or clean water. Over 22 million in Latin America, 400 million people in Africa, and 500 million in Asia. These communities live in geographical areas that are difficult to put on the grid.
Places like islands off the Philippines or in the Himalayan mountains are difficult for grids to be able to be put up. So without access to electricity, they won't get access to lighting, to heating, to cooling, to refrigeration, to hospitalization.
Mr. Mason is a member of the co-brand ownership of the logo and trademark of the Marine Foundation, founder and president of the First Development World Bank, director, financial strategies, member of the Ministry of Economy at Marine Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen of the world, First Development World Bank and Marine Foundation proudly presenting the world's most ambitious project of the 21st century, who are engaging themselves to finance and completion of Japan-Korean Tunnel Project and the endeavor of uniting the entire world by an international highway. Let's take a ride to our new project.
The Genkai Sea. It is a body of water that has been the stage for exchange between Japan and the Asian continent from long ago. All kinds of people, goods, and cultures have crossed this maritime passage. Now, below this waterway that connects Japan and Korea, a tunnel is being constructed, which is part of the grandiose plan of the highway system connecting Asia with the whole world. This is the International Highway, the Japan-Korea Tunnel Project. The International Highway, the Japan-Korea Tunnel Project. It looks to connect Japan to the Asian continent by way of an underwater tunnel. Furthermore, it will connect with the other 5 continents of Europe, Africa, North and South America through underwater tunnels and highway systems. Through this, eternal world peace is the ultimate goal. This project was put forward by Reverend Sun Myung Moon when he presented it at the 10th International Conference on the Unity of the Sciences in 1981. In 1982, survey for the Japan-Korea Tunnel Project commenced. To begin boring, all possible surveys from land, water, and air proceeded. From 1986, excavation for an inclined shaft for underground survey began in Karatsu City in Saga Prefecture. However, the site was not of a favorable environment. Neither was it supported by an abundant amount of funding. At the time, everybody had thought, this was just a fairy tale. However, for those involved, They had a strong conviction of realizing this dream. They wanted to make a contribution for the future of Japan and Korea, and even to the rest of Asia. They wanted to help create a world of peace. Those that took part in the Seikan Tunnel and helped in the achievement of the Eurotunnel next set their sights on the dream of the Japan-Korea Tunnel. If they succeed in this project, it would be roughly 4 times the length of the Seikan Tunnel, which is the world's longest underwater tunnel. The main tunnel would total 230 kilometers in length. In order to complete the main tunnel, they first need to dig a pilot tunnel to conduct geological surveys and for the transport of machinery and equipment used for sediment removal. One of these was the inclined shaft in Karatsu City in Saga Prefecture. "28 kilometers from Karatsu is the island of Iki. Along the route of the Japan-Korea Tunnel lies the site for an inclined shaft in the town of Ashibe in Iki. "51 kilometers from Iki is Tsushima. On July 15, 2014, the portal for the inclined shaft was completed in the town of Are in Tsushima. From here, the Japan-Korea Tunnel would cross international borders and advance 66 kilometers to Gyoje Island of Korea. On September 11th of the same year, the opening ceremony for the completion of the portal to the inclined shaft was held, and 100 people participated. 66 kilometers from Tsushima, the Japan-Korea Tunnel made shore in Gyoje Island of Korea. And it will connect with the international highway system that will include Russia and the US. In September 2005, at the founding ceremony of the Universal Peace Federation, Reverend Sun Myung Moon proposed the Bering Strait Project. The Bering Strait Project is part of the plan for the international highway that links the world with the network of highway systems. By connecting the whole world with this highway, Reverend Moon wants to help achieve world peace. This is what the International Highway Project, according to Reverend Moon, is about. Not only is it limited to Japan and Korea, but a whole slew of problems has swept Asia throughout history. So, the Japan-Korea Tunnel has many obstacles it must overcome. This project depends on Korea's effort and Japan's effort. Efforts from both sides are required. The Japan-Korea Tunnel carries an extremely crucial role. Key figures from both countries have directly indicated the necessity of the Japan-Korea Tunnel at joint studies. However, what is needed for the Japan-Korea Tunnel to move forward is the consensus of opinions from citizens of both countries. In order to gain consensus from Japanese and Korean citizens, prefectural councils for the Japan-Korea Tunnel have been formed in all 47 prefectures. Now, there is a growing movement nationwide to propel this project. Furthermore, in November 2017, a national council for the Japan-Korea Tunnel was formed. I believe the underwater tunnel connecting Korea and Japan is ultimately one major undertaking for Korea-Japan friendship. Cooperation between Japan and Korea must be established. In order to do so, the Diet and National Assembly need to understand this project. The National Council exists for this reason. There is growing support from the people for the Japan-Korea Tunnel. The Japan-Korea Tunnel is the Peace Road, a road of peace. In Korea, there is a greater hope for the Japan-Korea Tunnel than in Japan. On-site inspections have been held with many key figures having been called from Korea. The plan for the international highway will help realize the most advanced infrastructure. We cannot even estimate the economic benefits this would bring. Japan has most of its resources imported and relies mainly on maritime transport. The Japan-Korea Tunnel would immediately increase the distribution of goods. The countries that would benefit the most would be Japan and Korea. The tunnel would likely help the mutual exchange of culture as well. Of course, the economic benefits would be monumental. Professor Toshiyasu Noda of Seinan Gakuin University has estimated the economic benefits the Japan-Korea Tunnel could bring. Annual operating revenue of goods may exceed 225.3 billion yen. Furthermore, he mentioned the 10 trillion yen cost for construction can be procured with project financing, with 4 trillion yen in investments and 6 trillion yen covered by loans. Since he foresees a new demand for tourism, he expects the repayment of the loans is possible within 35 years at the least. In November 2013 in Turkey, the Bosphorus underwater tunnel opened connecting Asia and Europe. Now let's all dream of a bullet train that departs from Tokyo to Istanbul and from Istanbul to London. The time has arrived to promote the aim of the linear Chuo Shinkansen from Tokyo to London. The day is not far for the Japan-Korea Tunnel to rise in significance as a national project. It is not a fantasy any longer. The Japan-Korea Tunnel Project and the Bering Strait Project. If the island nation of Japan is able to connect with the Asian continent with these two tunnels, it will connect with the other nations of the world by way of land. The International Highway, the Japan-Korea Tunnel Project, the road to peace and prosperity for Asia and Japan.
Welcome. First Development World Bank, an investment corporation for the well-being of humanity. Our service includes mining, microeconomy, pharmaceutical, CBD low-cost insulin, real estate investments, sector of energy, water router technology, solar panels technology, Cone AG 9D International Incorporated, housings development, gold and diamonds. We make sure that our investors get a fair share of profits for their investments or deposit.